We got everybody?
Yep, we're ready to go. Sean's up first.
Okay, AFC opponent this week, another good offense. They're third in the league in rushing. They're doing a good job running the ball. They got in a shootout last week against Cincinnati, won on basically the last play of the game. And they got some good receivers up front. They're blocking really good, and Hunt's a very good back. Mayfield's playing really good. He had 5 touchdowns last week. He started off a little bit slow, but he got hot at the end of the game. I believe it was 20 for 20 at the end of the game the other day. So AFC opponent, we're excited for it. Any questions?
Earlier this week, Coach Gruden said that, you guys are looking at making some defensive changes. I know obviously you can't go into those changes, but how does that process play out when it comes to communicating that to the team? Is it something where you implement one thing at a time, or is it a large sweeping change? How does that typically go during the season?
Well, I think it's like any other year. I mean, especially when you have some new guys and younger guys, after 6 games, you kind of understand where their strengths and where their weaknesses are, and we always try to keep developing those guys and putting them in the best spots to succeed. And that's what really coaching is trying to get your guys the assets that you have, understand the strengths and weaknesses of those assets, and put those guys in the best position to succeed. And that's all we try to do.
Paul, what would you say is the strength of your defense right now?
Well, I mean, I think the not strength is we're not being very consistent. So I would say I think we're doing some good things in the running game. We got to eliminate some of the explosive plays that hurt us last week, and I just think consistency overall of those things is what we got to continue to work on.
Paul, one thing that John had mentioned was, if we're going to rush 4 guys, we've got to do a better job of that. You guys are down in the league in terms of frequency of blitzing. Is that under consideration to maybe blitz more? And what's the dangers potentially of doing that?
Well, I mean, I think it's all based upon the opponent you play, the structure of the offense, whether that allows you to do those things, and the matchups you have. If you blitz a guy and they pick you up, you have coverage. You have one guy in coverage, or if you don't blitz, you got to get home in the rush. So there's a give and take there of how you decide to do those things. So there's pluses to minuses. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. It's all. You do the best you can with the studies that you have. Based upon the situations when they come about.
Yeah, Paul, Jerry McDonald. As a coordinator of a unit that's struggling, you're going to get a lot of criticism, and some of it's going to be fair, and some of it's not going to be fair. It's going to be social media, mainstream. I'm curious what your philosophy is with dealing with that.
The social media stuff. I honestly, I don't have social media. I don't really look at it. I don't have time to pay attention to it, guys. I come in here every morning, stay here late at night to try to put these guys in the best position to succeed, And, like I said, I do the best job I can with the coaches that we have so we can do the best job for these players to put them in position to make plays. And when those plays are to be there to be made, we got to make the plays.
Hey, Paul, of course, I know you can't give away too much about your game plan. However, I've noticed a lot of success that the defensive line has had when you start to move around Maxx and Clee and put them on the inside as compared to having them as edge rushers. Do you see yourself being able to change around the defensive line moving forward and making them play more on the inside as opposed to the outside?
Well, I think we have a lot of versatile guys that can move inside and outside. And really, again, it depends on the opponent, who the guards are, who the tackles are. We feel like we have the best matchup with our guys against their guys. That's really what it is every week. So we have guys that are able to rush inside, rush outside, walk around as a spinner rusher and do those type of things. So we look forward to that every week to see, again, to put these guys in the best position we possibly can to succeed. That's our job as coaches, and obviously we got to do a better job. I have to do a better job putting these guys in a position to succeed.
Coach, we know Kevin Stefanski likes to run the ball and what he can do in the run game, and Bill Callahan, as their offensive line coach, has done a good job with them. What do they do that's kind of so different in the run game, and why they do with it?
I think they have a multitude of runs. They have a large volume of runs in different personnel groupings. They do a good job of taking a look at some of the runs that may have hurt you in the past and put those in. And I think that the line does a really good job of working in conjunction, whether it be a scoop or a double team and those type of things. I think they do a really good job with their footwork, and they're all in unison. So the line's very good. They work very good together, so it'll be a good challenge for us come Sunday.
Paul, you guys added David Irving last week. Is he in line to perhaps play this week, and what does he bring to the table?
David's been out of football for a while, so he's a work in progress. We're trying to get his conditioning up and ready to go, and when we feel he'll be ready to go, whether it's this Sunday or next Sunday or 2 Sundays from now, we'll have to make that decision. So that's going to be a day-to-day thing with David, but he'll be an asset for us. He's a big, good-looking sucker, and he's played a lot of good football over his career. So when he's ready and we deem him as ready as coaches to go in there, we'll have him up and running.
One more question, Vic.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you see when you watch Baker Mayfield? How do you attack him?
He does a good job. He'll move around some in the pocket. He make throws from different platforms, whether it be off play action or off drop back passes. Obviously, last week he got hot at the end of the game, so you could see even after they lost Beckham, he got in some rhythm there. So again, when he gets into a rhythm, he's a really good player. Whether he's on the move or in the pocket. So he's a very good player, and we'll have our hands full come Sunday.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Greg, Jerry McDonald. Coach Gruden mentioned on Monday about the amount of times Henry Ruggs got the ball and said a lot of times he wasn't open. He was blanketed. And he's got to win some of these matchups. He knows that. I'm just curious, where do you think he's at in his development right now? What can you really depend on him for as a rookie? Do we sometimes forget guys lack experience?
Yeah, certainly he's a rookie, but we like where he's at development-wise. I think every game there's something new that he's able to see and able to come back the next week and work on. But, Edgar Bennett's doing a great job there at the wide receiver spot, and he's developing every week. So, he ran into some good defensive backs last week, but he'll continue to get better.
Hey, Greg, it looks like it's going to be pretty rainy and windy in Cleveland on Sunday. How do you prepare for that as offense?
Yeah, well, today we spent a number of periods with what we call a wet ball, where we have the managers, the guys that are spotting the ball, they squirt water on the football. We had our wide receivers, our quarterbacks were in their wet weather gloves. So we had a good day of that today. We'll do the same tomorrow as well.
Greg, Sam Gordon here, Las Vegas Review-Journal. The running game is not necessarily where you want it to be at this point in the season. What do you need to do to get it back on track going into this crucial stretch here coming up?
Well, we always mention, I think continuity up front is a big part of it, and getting our 5 guys together. But it's an evolving process for us. Again, we're very happy with Josh Jacobs and the guys that we have up front blocking it, and then we think that Derek does a great job of getting us out of bad plays and into the right place. So it's an evolving process, and we'll just continue to try and get better.
Greg, you talked over the summer about working with Derek on improving stuff on, when plays break down and scrambling and doing things like that. It seems like he's taken a step forward in that aspect of his game. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, it's encouraging. I know he's very aware of it. He rushed for 2 first downs last week, which is what we like to see, and and he was aware of it, and so we'll continue to emphasize it, and hopefully he'll continue to get better at it. But we were encouraged by what we saw last weekend. We're encouraged what we've seen thus far through the first half of the season.
Anything more for Coach?
Paul, nothing for Paul.
Give you another second here. All right.
Nothing there. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Questions?
Hey, Max, Jerry McDonald from the Bay Area News Group. Coach Gruden and Coach Guenther have alluded to some scheme changes. Of course, you can't go into those, but I'm curious about your thoughts of you having what you need inside that room, that defensive unit to get things turned around. It doesn't sound like there's going to be any trades or anything, Coach Gruden said. So are you guys confident that you have what you need in that room to be a good defense?
Absolutely.
So, Max, what do you guys need to do as a front to generate more consistent pressure? You obviously did it against Kansas City, but what do you need to be able to do that week in, week out?
Yeah, we just got to be more consistent. We got to be on the same page at all times. There can't be one guy not knowing what the game is, or one guy not, on the same page as the guy next to him. So that's what we've been working on. We've been getting better every day this week. We've been communicating, and working on what we need to get better at. So I'm definitely excited to, get out there Sunday and do what we do.
Max, Sam Gordon here, Las Vegas Review-Journal. How would you assess your personal play up to this point in the season? What do you feel like you've been doing well, and what are some areas that you want to improve?
I think I can get better in every way. I think I've done some good things. I feel like I just got to be more consistent. I gotta be more effective as far as disrupting the game. There's sack numbers and stuff like that, but I just got to be more disruptive every down, and that's something I've been working on. So I just got to read my keys and play as hard as I possibly can, and good things will happen.
Any more questions for Max, guys? Another second to raise your hand? No? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.